What's up, guys? Today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about pricing. It seems to be a really popular subject, and I want to, wrap some concepts around this so you guys understand where I'm coming from here. And I think you'll enjoy this. This is going to be a three-part presentation, I believe. This will just be the first part, but I think you're going to enjoy this information. This video is brought to you today by Market Today. You need a new website, that's the place to start. Your website has to be structured a certain way for good SEO to work, for Google Ads to work properly. There needs to be a sequence and a structure that kind of matches how you can do your ads and stuff. So start with and I'm no expert at this, guys, Market Today is. So visit Market Today, that's MARKIT today.com. Reach out to them and see about getting a new website. That's definitely the first place to start. So today, here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about determining your price, the first person to sell, flat rate pricing, elastic and inelastic, company pillars, task list for repairs, breaking down invoices. Now, we're not going to cover all of this today, but we'll cover a good portion. So the first person to sell, you guys have heard me talk about this before, but I want to make sure you truly get this and you truly understand this. Is, for one, you've been trained, and I don't want to just jump right over that. It takes years to be effective and efficient, to be able to fix furnaces and air conditioners, to be able to install furnaces and air conditioners. It just takes a lot of time and energy and effort and knowledge to be able to do those things efficiently. So don't take that for granted. This is something that I think most of us do, but you've done your license, you care about your customers, you take all the risk. And that's a big one. You're taking a lot of risk being in business. You carry insurance. You have the customer's best interest in mind. I know in most situations, you care about what that customer's going through probably more than they do. So you carry a lot of that burden, that weight with you. And it's a lot to carry when you do own your own business and you take full responsibility for your customers, which I know you do. So, but remember, you get paid for what you know, not how much time you spend. There was a time where you couldn't diagnose a heat pump properly, quickly. You may have gotten through it, but it took you a lot longer. Well, you get to a point where you have enough experience under your belt, you're able to diagnose things faster. That doesn't mean that the customer should pay less just because of your experience. And that's what I'm talking about here. You deserve compensation. Your family deserves to be taken care of. Your employees deserve to be taken care of. Your retirement deserves to be funded. You deserve health insurance. You deserve to afford a vacation. You deserve to live a designed life. And the great news is you determine your price. Good, fast, and cheap. And I've talked about this many times, but good, fast, and cheap, pick two. If you want it good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. If you want it cheap, let's see, good and cheap won't be fast. You get the idea here. So this is really true. Like, you can't be good, fast, and cheap. And that's what most of us are when we first start our businesses, especially the first couple of years. We just don't truly see our value. And when that happens, it just creates a lot of pain in our lives. So we have a desire, I believe, that is to give something for nothing, or to not have a fair exchange, put it that way. So when we want to give our services for not enough money, we tend to attract those who want to receive those services for not enough money. Like, when we don't charge enough, we attract the people who don't want to pay enough. And believe it or not, there's some people out there who actually target these younger businesses that haven't developed the self-worth. And instead of getting mad at those people or, complaining about them all the time, you got to look at them like they're just teachers. They're teaching you a lesson. And eventually, if the pain, if you keep doing this for too long, the pain continues to grow. Once that pain gets to a certain threshold, look at those people as teachers. They're teaching you a lesson to stop giving away your services, to stop doing stuff for less money than what you deserve, to stop doing money for or doing the work for less money than it takes to run a successful business. So some of you guys might get mad at me about this, but for those of you who believe that it's more honorable to give than to receive, believe it or not, you're breaking a universal law. I know we do give things, right? I mean, we try to donate stuff to, you might donate a service call to somebody in need. And I'm not saying don't do that. I would never tell you not to do that. It's important to do that. And however, when you do that, call it universal intelligence, call it whatever it will, call it God, some way, somehow, you'll be paid back for that. But we can't just continue to do it every day, day in, day out, day in, day out, because it will break you, financially, physically, emotionally, it will break you. And that's because there's this law of equilibrium. Anytime you receive something for nothing or give something for nothing, you impede the growth of your self-worth. So how do we do this? The key is to have fair exchange. And fair exchange is the perfect balance between self-interest and interest of others. So what does these imbalances create? Well, for one, it drags your mind out of the present. You're thinking about, that customer that was beating you up on your price. And when you finished the job, you might've walked away with $5. And if you keep dwelling on that and think of that, your mind is not in the present, it's in the past. Or you can't pay your bills because you don't have enough money coming in from the work that you're doing because you're not charging enough. And now you're worried about the future. You're worried about, how am I going to be able to pay all my bills? And that too means that your mind is not in the present. So that's one of the biggest things that an imbalance creates, is it drags your mind out of the present. You're minimizing your contribution. You're saying that what I did for you, all the work that I provided, is not worth much. That's what you're saying if you don't charge enough. And you're exaggerating their contribution. Well, they hired me. I'm so glad that they hired me, and I had some work to do, although they beat me up on my price, right? You're exaggerating their contribution, minimizing yours. And what this causes, what it creates, is a lack of inspiration, because you're going to burn out. You're going to get tired. You're going to get tired of dealing with jerks. You're going to get tired of never having enough money. You're going to get tired of not having the money to do the things in your business that you want to do. And it's going to create lack of motivation and lack of inspiration. This lessens and devalues you, because there's pain, frustration, anger, anxiety, worry, and fear. And you're going to have feelings of deserving more because you work so hard. Now, this can go the opposite way too. If you diminish the worth of those that you serve, it's going to create an imbalance. And because of this law of equilibrium, there's an increased risk of being humbled in a negative way, like something bad could happen to get you back into equilibrium. If you're not appreciating the customers, appreciating the employees, appreciating your position, appreciating everything that you do have. Because anything that you stop appreciating, it depreciates. So everything around you will depreciate. If you purchase a new vehicle or drive in a newer vehicle or newer work van, and the minute you stop taking care of that van, it's going to start depreciating. There's going to also, it could be a reflection of your lack of appreciation, could be a lack of clients, a lack of employees, higher risk of negative reviews, angry customers, and diminishing returns. So when it comes to fair exchange, having a predetermined fair exchange for services rendered, that's the key. That way you feel good about it, and so do they. When you value and appreciate clients, they keep coming. And when you don't, they stop. The good news is you set the standard. The more you raise that value, the more you receive. Because business is not built, the foundation of your business is not going to be built on price. The foundation is going to be built on convenience and quality. but I added a couple more pillars in there, which is perceived value and fair exchange. But as you can see, there's 4 things here: convenience, perceived value, fair exchange, and quality. That's what helps determine your price, but it's not a price is not the foundation of your business. So it's important to remember that. So we'll get into what makes you convenient to do business with. Where is this perceived value coming from? How are you convenient? How can you create this fair exchange, and what kind of quality do you deliver? We'll cover that next week. But that's all I got for you today, guys. So start letting this sink in. Like, know your worth, know your value. I always tell people, if you don't quite grasp this concept, or or really truly believe in it, then read Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone, because one thing that I can tell you without question is you have to believe in the service and the products that you provide, that you deliver. I mean, believe them in your soul that you are doing a disservice if you don't sell this stuff to the customer. Like, if they don't purchase from you, they have a need, they have a broken equipment, or they want new equipment. If they don't purchase it from you, you're doing them a disservice, because you really don't know what they're going to get when they hire somebody else. And you know as well as I do, there's some other companies that you don't want your customers to use because they do a crappy job and they don't care. It's a one and done. They're not building relationships. They're not in it for the long haul. If something's wrong, they don't come back to fix it. They get the taillight warranty. As soon as the taillights are gone, the warranty's over. And if you don't operate that way, which I'm certain you don't, then it's a disservice to your customer if you can't get them or help them decide that you're the right decision. So you really got to understand what I'm talking about here, guys. So know your worth. It took you a lot of years to build your level of knowledge and your level of experience, and that is worth something. So guys, hope you have a great weekend. Go make money. Boom. That's what we're talking about, making money. Boom.